Hi, Alan SoCal. I'm reviewing the Galons, and I'm pointing down here because their logo is in the chrome band at the bottom here. This is the Galanz, I call it a mini espresso replica retro machine. If you've seen some of my other videos, this happens to be a commercial espresso bar that I built for a hobby that I'm deeply into, which is specialty coffee, which I've been involved with as an avocation, a very, very serious hobby, for about 20 years now. And I've got, well, I don't have it now. It's missing. I don't have my commercial espresso machine. I retired it about a month or so ago. I have another one that's going to be ordered soon. So ironically, this machine became available at the time that I removed the old machine, decided it was time to replace it with a newer generation machine. In brief, what I can tell you is that from the little mini portafilter made out of what appears to be a chromized plastic, which means it has no ability to retain heat, which is critical, and the non-standard portafilter baskets, this being the portafilter, these are the baskets. This is supposed to be a double shot. This one would be, because it's shallower, a single shot. It's replicating the look, but not providing the true utility. And so therein was my immediate disappointment. I tried pulling shots with the machine. It's a vibratory pump unit, and for heat they're using what's called a thermal block inside, which can be done, but it's not enough to redeem the issue of the fact that you don't really get a true 9 to 15 bar pressure system, nor is there any way to control the timing of the espresso extraction. So from a basically scientific approach, the machine just cannot meet the requirements as a true espresso machine. However, here's the redeeming feature. When I turned it on, and after I tested the extraction process, the brewing process of the espresso beans, and by the way, I roast here on premises, so I'm using very high quality beans. In fact, the espresso that I processed is the very same one that I run through my commercial units, but it just couldn't do it. It couldn't give me the results I needed. What I can tell you is that the thermal block system that provides steam is actually the redeeming feature, because without my espresso machine, I wasn't able to do a properly frothed milk. But what I am able to do evidently now, because of this little machine, and I'm just clearing it right now. The thermal block is working beautifully, and I've been getting really nice micro froth out of it. So for anybody to say that the machine's a total waste is not true. The steaming frothing attachment works awesome, and it saved me, because then after ordering and receiving this machine for review, I then received some very, very accomplished manual, compact, portable espresso devices. So reviewing the portable espresso devices, and making cappuccinos, a third, and a third, which is the true formula for an espresso. A third espresso, a third steamed milk, and a third frothed milk. I couldn't do that with this. It's not capable of providing even a single shot properly. I couldn't get it. But then with the manual machines I was. I was able to get a true single shot of espresso. And then using this machine, I was able to then froth the milk, and then combining my frothed and steamed milk with my decent espresso shot from the other machine, I was good to go. As I said, steaming, yes, it did a good job of steaming the milk, but for the amount of money invested here, I would save and move into what's considered an entry-level prosumer machine. Quite honestly, if you feel good about the coffee you get from the machine, that's most important. But if you're truly trying to replicate an authentic espresso, this machine certainly is not what I'd recommend, and I've recommended to friends and family other devices, but I can't recommend this.